Yo, what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Brandon from Audio Addiction. I've I just want to say I want to give myself a little bit of a pat on the back. I have been absolutely doing a ton of these live review reaction videos, and they've been awesome. So I just want to give a shout out to the community. Much love. Like I said, it's been such a pleasure doing all of these videos and interviews in between as well. And yeah, I just love doing them. I think it's a great way for us to interact as well as just getting some really sick content out there. So really much appreciate it. And obviously, if you like the content, subscribe. Make sure to hit that notification bell and anything else. It really does help out a lot. So I do appreciate if you come hang out, let me know your thoughts and all that goodness. But tonight we're gonna be taking a listen to Cherie Amour's newest record, Spiritual Ascension. I had them on last year, I believe, for an interview. It was funny. For some reason, I can't read, and I said it was Cherie Amour, and I got totally blasted for that. So very stoked on that, certainly. I know it's Cherie Amour now. They thought it was a bit. It was not. It was me just not being smart at all. So yeah, that was great. But they released a EP called Internal Discussion, which I absolutely loved and really enjoyed the hell out of last year. And then with this new album coming out this year, I had to listen to it and check it out and show the boys some support. If you are watching this live, they're going to be going on tour very soon with Capstan and In Her Own Words. So if you are in the Harrisburg area, let me know because I'll most likely be at that show. So support the boys. Plus, I love Capstan and iHow. They're both great bands. So go out and see it. It's a really sick tour. And again, excited to see that shit live because I think it's going to be really cool. Anyway, Spiritual Ascension. I haven't listened to any of the songs. I haven't listened to any of the singles. This is all fresh. I wanted to listen to this live on stream with you guys. So if you have listened to the album, let me know in the comments or in the live chat what your favorite songs were off the album. I'd really love to know because it's always a good indicator on if there's some really good heat later on in the album, or if there's one that's coming up that you're like, yo, this is sick, Brandon, you gotta check this one out. And we will check out all of them. This is 11 tracks, and I left a link below. If you can go pick it up, please go support the Cherie Amour boys. I love these guys. They're awesome and such a bunch of humble and nice dudes. So want to do all I can to try to help out their release. So if you can go pick it up, go grab it. But I am going to kick off this whole video with their first song, which is called Welcome. I imagine it's an intro track, obviously the song being 41 seconds long. I don't know how much they're going to be able to cram into here, but we'll give Welcome a listen and get stoked for Spiritual Ascension. Let's get into it.
Where did we come from?
You're right.
Why are we here? What happens to us when we're gone?
Very cryptic.
Remember to sit in silence. For it is in silence that these answers reveal themselves. As for me, I'm a work in progress, struggling to heed my own advice. It's time now to embrace your destiny and enter the Ascension.
All right, guys, that was track 1, Welcome. Obviously, not too much going on there. It was very cryptic and very interesting. I do like when bands do a nice little cool intro track. I'm curious how it's gonna roll into this next track, On Deck, but yeah, I think it was a very interesting intro. I don't think there's really anything that particularly was like, oh my god, this is nuts. But I think at the same point, it's a cool little intro track. So we'll get into the actual first song of the album, which is On Deck. So let's give this one a listen. This is track 2, guys.
We was in the hole, but now we on deck. We was in the hole, but now we on deck.
All right.
We was in the hole, but now we on deck. We was in the hole, but now we on deck. Step up to the plate, you know what happens next. When we're swinging for the fences, then we're coming at your neck. Coming at your neck, then we're coming for respect. When we hit the stage, then you know we're coming to collect. Hardware, all the bricks, so let the beast out of its cage, yeah. We was in the hole, but now we on deck. We was in the hole, but now we on deck. We was in the hole, but now we on deck, on deck. We was in the hole, but now we on deck.
That was a nice little punk track, guys. That was track 2, On Deck, off of Cherie Amour's newest record, Spiritual Ascension. I really dug this one. It was a nice little short track. I don't know. I'm curious as to why they may have split these up. I guess it's a little strange to me. Like I said, I don't know how they go about putting the album together, but it seemed a little strange that they would just have like the first song be like 41 seconds, the second song being 55 seconds, and then they don't have any short songs except for maybe, I guess, track 10, which would be Losing Control, which is the shortest song beyond, obviously, these two, sitting at around 2 minutes and 48 seconds. Yeah, I thought this one was, I liked it, again, the sort of just cutthroat, very to the point, aggressive nature that this song brought. Definitely has more of a sort of punk feel to it. I like the beat. I thought it was all really solid. It was, like I said, more jarring that the song is under a minute long and the intro song that was before that one was 41 seconds. So it just seems a little bit strange to me personally, but in regards to the vibes, it was a good, like, energetic song to kind of get the album warmed up. So thought this one was good. Just a little strange that they had like a 55-second track after the intro song. Just maybe my opinion on that one. But we're going to move it on to track 3. This one is called Sin City. This one looks to be a little bit longer, so hopefully we can get into it a little bit quicker. So let's check out track 3, Sin City. Let's go. Oh, that's cool.
Baby, I'm digging you so much. I just hope this is enough. 'Cause I can't buy no fancy stuff. I'm just letting you know. But I'm gonna take you out. Yeah, I'm gonna show you
switch up.
It's like you want me to walk away. The hell that we've been through, it can only mean we've been destined to walk away. I can't tell what you
Oh, what? That's so sick. What? Oh, what a transition. That was actually really cool. Alright guys, if you're just tuning in, that was track 3. This one is called Sin City. This is more like it. This is what I'm talking about. I like this one a lot. I like the sort of synthy overlays going on in this track. I think that offered a lot of depth. The clean singing from the boy, my boy Trey. I think he's really doing a great job at that. I think just overall this one was a nice kind of combination of like some really great pop hits, as well as I love the like kind of aggressive tone that was taken more so in that I would say, I guess it would be the first chorus of the song. I think that was really on point, and I like how they kind of continued on with that, even to the point where I wasn't really expecting a breakdown, but the way that it hit was really good. I like the fact that they slowed it down and kind of like had it fade out into the end of the song, and then brought back in the synth part towards the end. I thought that was really cool, and definitely something that I felt like they did pretty well on Spiritual Ascension, or not Spiritual Ascension, Internal Discussion. Sorry, I'm getting them mixed up. I feel like that's what they did well, of kind of blending those like heavier elements, like the more post-hardcore direction that that they had in terms of sound, and I like that they included that into Spiritual Ascension, especially this song specifically. I think the amalgamation of those like pop hits really worked well with the combination of like the synths, the electronic elements. I really enjoyed just the mix of those two, and it definitely reminded me of like the bridge almost between Internal Discussion and Spiritual Ascension, which is really nice because I feel like sometimes with bands it can be a little bit difficult to traverse the gap a little bit from an EP to an album, and I felt like this song does a really good job of helping out with that process. So definitely dig this one a lot. I think there's a lot of great hooks on this track as well. But yeah, overall this was a really fun song that I really fell in love with, and I think that this one is definitely going to be high up on the list of my favorites once we get down to the end of it, just because I think the hooks on it were really well antiquated into the song. So definitely go give a listen to Sin City, and if you like the albums thus far, I know it hasn't been that much time, but if you do enjoy it, check the links in the description. You can go pick it up for yourself there. We're going to move it on to track 4. This one is called Low and Lean, and let's give it a listen. Ooh, this is cool.
5 orbits around the sun in the time that we've been apart. Yeah, kinda thought that this would be fun, but now you're stolen in my
this is
heart.
clean.
Yeah, I never had a plan of becoming your man, but look at where I am now, baby. Saying I love yous and getting tattoos, you got me going crazy. Turn the music loud, amp it to 11. Smoke another blunt, we might get to heaven. Windows to your soul are teasing me. Tell me again, are we lovers or are we just friends? Is it real or only pretend? I guess it really depends. So tell me again, are we lovers or are we just friends? Is it real or only pretend? I guess it really depends. Tonight I'll give you all of me. So baby, don't hold back.
lines. Way to go, Casey.
We are a puzzle worth solving, believe me. Pieces will fit, it just doesn't come easy. Turn the music loud, amp it to 11. Smoke another blunt, we might get to heaven. Windows to your soul, teasing me. Tell me again, are we lovers or are we just friends? Is it real or only pretend? I guess it really depends. So tell me again, are we lovers or are we just friends? Is it real or only pretend? I guess it really depends. Tonight I give you all of me. So baby, don't hold back. Tonight I give you all of me. So baby, don't hold back.
Tu es amusé et t'as fait un cadeau, mais tu ne savais pas que ce serait cette chanson. J'ai voulu t'amuser et te faire un cadeau, mais tu ne savais pas que ce serait cette chanson. Go!
Tell me again, are we lovers or are we just friends? Is it real or only pretend?
This is so
I guess
fucking
it really
catchy.
depends. So tell me again, are we lovers or are we just friends? Is it real or only pretend? I guess it really depends. Tonight I give you all of me. So baby, don't hold back. Tonight I give you all of me. So baby, don't hold back.
All right, guys, if you're just tuning in, this was track 4 off of Cherie Amour's newest album, Spiritual Ascension. Links in the description if you'd like to go pick it up. This one was a bop. I fucking love this song. I love the fact that it kind of meshes like R&B. It's got kind of a little bit of an alt vibe. The guitars were like super driving. I like the bass had kind of like this like funk kind of soul riff to it. And then just Sherm was holding it down on the drums. Overall, this was just such a fantastically put together track. Definitely reminds me of another band within the scene, and I know I mentioned it on the interview, but would love for Cherie Amour and the home team to kind of put, either do like a split. I think that would be very sick, or also tour together. I think that'd also be very cool, you know. I think the vibes of this definitely scream like a lot of like pop influence and like soul influence and R&B influence, which I definitely like, and the fusion of those sounds I think really work well. It was kind of the reason why I loved Cherie Amour's first EP, Internal Discussions, just because I think they did a great job of meshing those sounds of like pop and like R&B and like post-hardcore and a little bit of pop punk, and I feel like this is a very good indicator of what the band is sounding like, and I'm curious if some of the other songs kind of have that sort of flavoring, because this one was an absolute just like, this one I was just vibing out. I was really feeling myself, and it really was just really well put together. The guitar work was just like super aggressive, but it didn't feel like it was just like overbearing in that way. Same with like the bass line. The bass definitely had like more of a forefront in this song, but it didn't feel like it was overpowering. The inclusion of like the electronics in this song I think help out a lot dynamically, because you're able to kind of pull focus from like the main set of instruments and the vocals, but then also have like this really cool like ethereal element in regards to like the electronic parts as well. So I think it's a great mix of both of those sounds, and I think this song particularly thus far has done the best job of meshing those two kind of ideologies into one song. So definitely like this one a lot. This is probably up there with my favorites, along with Sin City. But we are only 4 tracks into this 11-track album, so we still got 7 more to go. But overall, those that would probably be the reason why. And I think Trey's vocals just really cut through the mix super well, and just his melody usage was really tight as well. I love the inclusion of harmonies within the song more closer towards the end of the song, but overall this one was a very fun one, and definitely one I would recommend. If you haven't heard of Cherie Amour, I would give this one a listen 100%. So we're going to move it on to track 5. This one is called Letting Go. So let's give this bad boy a listen.
It feels like one of those nights when the air is muggy and you can cut the tension with a knife. And the DJ spins that song, she likes the 808s are changing with the lights, I'm feeling alright. Don Julio makes the darkness start to look bright, and the frat boys standing at the back of the bar look like they fiending for a fight. Yo, why don't you just play nice? Bro, did you drink, have too much ice? Bro, I'm amped up swinging on the chandelier, cause every shot is something like nitro. All we have is the here and now, my brain just started to worry about later. I'm frozen in time, Corona in lime, man it got me blowing my paper. The rain's gone, the moon's bright, I wanna see how you move in the moonlight. The pain's gone, don't mean we're alright. These are the precious moments that we live for. Letting go, if only for an hour, just before the sunrise. Just lose control and soak in all the power, the energy of starlight, baby. I just need some in my cup, I wanna live it up. I don't think that's too much, baby.
Ooh, the layering, vocal layers.
I just wanna cut a rug. It's been a couple months, been feeling kinda numb. The present moment's obvious. Don't wanna waste a second of your time. I think we better make it last long. The fact we met tonight should be a sign. The rain's gone, the moon's bright, I wanna see how you move in the moonlight. The pain's gone, don't mean we're alright. These are the precious moments that we live for. Letting go, if only for an hour, just before the sunrise. Just lose control and soak in all the power, the energy of starlight, baby.
Oh, this is sick. All right, guys, that one is called Letting Go. This one is off of Cherie Amour's newest record, Spiritual Ascension. I really dug this one, much like Low and Lean. I think this one I might have enjoyed a little bit better. I think they just have the pop sensibility on this track as well. That beginning verse, I love that Trey rapped that. I thought that was so sick, and it definitely reminded me of one of their other tracks, Orlando, off of their previous album, Eternal Discussions. And I like that he includes like some of the rap parts into Cherie Amour songs. I feel like they've always kind of had this like new punk inspired sound where they did include like some rap parts, and I don't feel like they're afraid to like break barriers, which I'm 100% for. I think some of the best songs that I've heard this year have just been ones that have just like absolutely like broken down the door in regards to just making things unique, making them interesting, and this one definitely is a standout track for me. That choir, like like group vocal kind of choir thing going on with the harmonies. I thought that was so sick. Definitely gave me like, it kind of almost gave me like that take me to church kind of vibe, where it just like, you go full on gospel for that shit, So I love that. And again, I love the hooks on this song. It felt very hook-like. And then comparatively to verse 2, I like the fact that there was clean singing going on in that verse part. In the second verse, I thought that was a really clean switch up as well. And I think it just makes, again, the listening experience a little bit more interesting, a little bit more unique. It's not just like one path that someone has to take in order for a song to sound the way it does. And so this one, I think they absolutely smashed it. I think thus far it's been bop after bop, so I'm hoping Mind's Eye is another good one. But yeah, I loved Letting Go. I think this one, again, is one of the stronger tracks off the album, even though, like I said, that is quite a big statement to make considering that we have more songs to get into. But the hooks on this, just like the immediate, like, I was already in it, I think that was a big indicator for why I enjoyed this song so much. So the immediate immersion of getting into that song was something that I was really stoked about. So Letting Go give it a listen. This one is arguably one of the best songs off the album, and we're going to move it on to track 6, which is Mind's Eye. We're going to give this one a listen and see how this one plays out.
Girl, I just got an idea. You should spend the night here.
Nice.
And we can have a good time. And girl, you've been blowing up my phone. Why would you spend tonight alone? You should come right over here.
And I like that. All right, Sherm.
Be calling my phone, saying the bed is getting colder and your roomie ain't home. It was a date night, so now you're sitting alone, watching TV in the bedroom, just some weed and Patron. Then you said, let's chill, maybe we can watch some Netflix, listen to demos, debate the merits of your set list, play the GameCube in the morning, unless you wanna stay snoring. Either way, it's fine, I'm making you some breakfast. We both know how much you really want. We both know how much you care. We both know how much you really want. It's the same old song, the dance is getting tired. It's the same old song, I know you miss the fire. We both know how much you really want.
All right, guys, that was track 6 called Mind's Eye off of Cherie Amour's newest album, Spiritual Ascensions. Check the links in below. You can go pick up the album or you can go pick up some merch. Either way, go grab it. It's for the boys, so really like to do that. This one was very good. I think that the hooks on this were really tight. And like that this one has more of a sort of like pop punk, like pop sort of sensibility to it, which is really nice. I think this one is like that. I don't even know if I guess it would be considered like kind of more of a like, you know, love song, I guess, in that sort of way. But it's like, you know, some of the lyrics I could pick out were just like, you know, the day-to-day kind of shit, and how you don't want it to always be the same stuff. And so, you know, I think that's something people can certainly relate to, myself included. And it was just a nice, fun song that I feel like the pop sensibility really came out in this one. I think Trey did a really good job of, you know, coming up with some unique like phrasings in terms of the lyricism. I felt like the way that he kind of crafted this song was really well put together. But I didn't really feel like there was anything like as stand out as Low and Lean, as well as Letting Go. I feel like those two songs definitely had a lot more I wouldn't say attention to detail, but they just had a lot more like oomph to him. And I felt like this one was, as well as it was solid. And I think lyrically it was solid as well. It wasn't something that I felt like I was like, okay, I'm really getting into this. There's going to be something different about this one. And not everything has to be just like crazy stuff, but I would certainly like for it to have some sort of a interesting way of going about things. And I felt like this one was very much like a song I would hear on like maybe like a Sirius XM, or like a song where it has that sort of radio friendliness. It's really got a good hook to it, and I think it would serve very well on like a radio station, just because it has that sort of vibe to it. But yeah, overall it was good. Nothing too crazy. I did like the little drum solo from Sherm. I thought that was really tight. But yeah, overall nothing too out of pocket, but I would assume that this one would be a very good song to try to get onto the radio, just because of the hit, like the sensibility it has within pop. And then I think the hooks were good to the point where I think it would just really do well on, on a radio station, just because like those are where a lot of the good hooks are coming from. And I think that this one definitely fits up there, certainly. So we're going to move it on to track 7, which is Love's Not Your Thing. Let's get into this one. I have a good feeling this one's going to be a good one, so we'll find out.
My Cherie Amour, can't do this anymore. You like us better when we're crashing down. Could you be my baby? Could it be true? Why'd it take so long for me to meet you?
Ooh.
You got me going crazy, baby. Let's do a rendezvous.
Nice.
Museum dates and galleries, you love that. Shopping sprees occasionally, but really love is not your thing. My Cherie Amour, can't do this
Nice.
anymore. You like us better when we're crashing down. I guess it's a lobby. If it were up to me, we'd be floating. Met my other half in the green room. Have I turned a glass? Can you see through the foot I'm putting on the baby? There ain't no fooling you. Museum dates and
All right, guys, that was track 7. This one's called Love's Not Your Thing off of Cherie Amour's newest album, Spiritual Ascension. Links below. I really enjoyed this one. I think this one kind of fits in that same category of like Letting Go and Low and Lean, where it's got really good hooks. I think the instrumentals also on top of that were really fantastic, and I think they kind of aid this song super well. Trey's vocals were really cool on this one as well. I like the different like effects that they've been using on his vocals. I think it makes it more appealing because it's not like, okay, this person's just doing some singing. I think it makes it more unique when there's like different different fuzz pedals or different kind of like effects on his voice that would make the song just like a little bit more appealing or a little bit more interesting, or even in some parts where there's like a lot of distortion on his voice. I think the process by how they go about adding different effects onto Trey's vocals are really cool. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Again, has sort of more of a pop mentality to it, which is totally awesome. As well as that, I think it just really fits with their sound. I think those 3 songs, Low and Lean, Letting Go, and Love's Not Your Thing, have the most like kind of combination of like R&B and soul, and like as well as that some like pop punk kind of vibes, as well as maybe some like alternative like rock vibes. I think they really kind of run the gambit, and I think in a song like this you get to hear a lot of the like more dynamics that are going on within the track, which is always very nice. And I think that the fact that, again, they're making a lot of those sort of electronic elements a little bit more of a forefronted piece, I think that kind of this song does a very good job of, you know, obviously adding it into the song, but in a very tasteful way where it doesn't seem like it's over the top or, you know, maybe is doing too much. I think this one sits in a nice gray area between those two. But yeah, Love's Not Your Thing, I really enjoyed this one a lot. I think it's got, again, a fantastic hook, and I think both Casey and Brendan and Sherm really just were holding it down in this track instrumentally as well, which I do appreciate. So overall, this one is up there. I think this is up there with Letting Go and Low and Lean. I think those thus far have been my favorites. And we will I will break down all of my favorite songs when the video is closer to the end. But we will get into track number 8, which is God Be a Woman, and let's give this bad boy a listen.
I spend every day and every night living for the weekend. My mama prays that I'll be alright. I think I'm always going off the deep end. My mood it swings, my views in life are changing like the seasons. Happiness brings, my brain takes away, really for no reason. I don't know what I gotta do, what I gotta be. What I'm meant to be is what I'm meant to see, but really meant for me, yeah. Ancestors, please, will you guide me? I need your energy beside me. I've been fighting the enemy that's inside me, yeah. Cause you know I can't be me without you, without you, without you. Cause you know I can't be me without you, without you, without you. Cause you know I can't be me without you. Lately I've been feeling like a mess instead of a success. I'm thinking that I fell behind, put my all in that it ends up in a wreck. But what did I expect? No, I ain't been living right, and that's the reason I've been distant. Switch up in an instant, there's something going wrong in my head is spinning. What is this existence? Gotta be deficient, I think there's something missing, yeah. I don't know what I gotta do, what I gotta be. What I'm meant to be is what I'm meant to see, but really meant for me, yeah. Ancestors, please, will you guide me? I need your energy beside me. I've been fighting the enemy that's inside me, yeah. Cause you know I can't be me without you, without you, without you. Cause you know I can't be me without you, without you, without you. Cause you know I can't be me without you. I'm disconnected from my roots, searching for answers inside of scriptures I've been reading since a youth. I spent years on safari chasing the truth, and what I found is that I've always been aloof. But when I'm in the booth, I be locked in. I feel the generations before, and now I'm clocked in. My only venerating for sure. I always thought it'd be about copping Christian Dior, flavors du jour, but it's all about Cherie Amour. And now without you, without you. Cause you know I can't be me without you, without you. Ancestors, please will you guide me? I need your energy beside me. I've been fighting the enemy that's inside me, yeah. Cause you know I can't be me without you. Without you, yeah. Cause you know I can't be me without you. No, I can't be me without you. Cause you know I can't be me without you. No, I can't be me without you. Without you. Cause you know I can't be me without you.
Alright guys, that was track 8 off of Cherie Amour's new album, Spiritual Ascension. This one is entitled God Be a Woman. I think this one, very similarly, and I know I keep beating a dead horse, but this one was also really fantastic. I think the hooks on this track were probably some of the best ones. And I also really enjoyed the fact that this one had some really great rapping from Trey. I felt like within previous albums, I feel like he's been kind of reserved with that, but I'm glad that not only is he feeling more comfortable doing that in the material as well, but I also think it separates them as well. It doesn't. I think the thing is like within the scene, like there's always going to be some sort of amalgamation of whatever genre you're listening to, and I like the fact that they're kind of carving out their own thing right now, which I think I really appreciate, because there is that level of like sort of pot sensibility. There's a little bit of like rap and hip-hop involved in there, certainly, and then again, this one had a really kind of cool like R&B kind of soul vibe. Definitely reminded me of that like first solo record from Justin Timberlake, where he had like a full band, but also at the same point he kept his vocals very like R&B-esque, and I feel like Trey is kind of following in those same footsteps, where there is this sort of like pop and kind of alternative sensibility to his vocals, and I like the fact that he's pretty versatile in the sense that he can do songs like this that are a little bit more slower down and have some like really cool guitar riffing going on, but also at the same point I think he can really turn it up and have it be like more punk and have a lot more energy. So I like the fact that they are very much like a chameleon in the aspect of like they can practically kind of do like instrumentally wise pretty much anything, and Trey can kind of morph it into it being, you know, a song that's like this or a song that's like that. And so I really do appreciate that. The hooks on this song again were immaculate, and I would definitely say this is amongst my favorites in terms of what's been out. And you know, obviously you guys can pick up the record in the description below, but yes, God Be a Woman, fantastic track, and I think it was a really great single for them to release as well within the album. So go give this one a listen. We are going to move it on to track 9. This one is called Spiritual Ascension, the title track of the record. So let's get into it.
Digging up the bones in my closet, the screaming demons, I'm exercising them all in mosh pits. I can never sell my soul, despite deposits and profits that's worth my weight in gold. I'm numbing the pain, circle the drain, don't feel no rain or cold. Shinigami and Shitani, they all coming for me. Duppy's coming too, they haunt me early in the morning. The only way is through, welcome to the Terror Dome. Like Parisian catacombs, I'm looking for the nearest sortie. Here's when I decide that it's time to start the mending. Like I'm descending, downward spirals never ending. Don't wanna go outside, the world's beyond my comprehension. I watch the videos that YouTube's always recommending. Ori veneration, pure intention, spiritual ascension. Feelings loud in my soul, I don't mention unless I'm betting on a track. Pressure's mounting on my crack. Sometimes I feel like I was spoiled, so I guess I'm going back to copper pack, back to copper pack. Quick when I relapse, here's when I decide that it's time to start the mending. Time to it's time to start the mending. I pray to God when it's time to stop the sending. I'm going down. I'm going down. I pray to God, why is the rain so unrelenting? Why is the rain so unrelenting?
Alright guys, if you're just tuning in, this is track 9 off of Cherie Amour's newest record, Spiritual Ascension, by the same name, Spiritual Ascension. So go check the links below if you'd like to go pick it up. But overall, really enjoyed this one as well. I think this one was a little bit more, reserved comparatively to like God Be a Woman. I feel like that one's a little bit slower. Even maybe possibly like Mind's Eye. This one had more of a vibe to it, which I do appreciate. Again, the influence of like pop and R&B is super strong in this album, and I like that they're continuing on with that and keeping it fresh for them as artists. I think it really does keep it interesting, and overall, this one was a very fun song to listen to. Really, I don't know if you could tell, just like closing my eyes and I'm just like bobbing out to the song and just being like, yeah, I actually really like this. And I hope that they kind of continue again down that sort of R&B kind of soul path, because I think that their musicality of their band is able to do that, certainly, as well as that I think it just fits their sound a lot better. As much as I feel like at the dismay of them, they would love to write heavier music, but I think like having those sort of pop moments or have stuff that is just like a little bit different from the previous stuff that has been posted, I do feel like it helps out a lot in like obviously telling the haters that I like record it in a studio, but also at the same point I think it's important as well because you can kind of get a good metric on like how the band kind of is put together, what they're trying to achieve, and like the sound they're going for. And I feel like it's fairly direct in regards to what sound they plan on going to, and I'm very curious to see what their next album is going to be like. Is it kind of going to be in the same lane as this? Is it going to be completely different? Is it going to be more R&B? Maybe they just need to get more fans to kind of find out about their music and be a little bit more invested like I am. So, yeah, this one was a very good one. I think, again, Trey held it down with the vocals, and then not only Casey and Brendan of the bass and guitar, respectively. I think they did a fantastic job of, like, not saying to Joey, like, go all in, just give it your all. I think that as much as we all love that to be the case, it's like sometimes, you can't just be standing in line waiting for like the next thing to come around. So I do appreciate that. And I think with this album thus far, this one was a very fun one that I really enjoyed a lot. So Spiritual Ascension, go give this one a listen. It's awesome. So we're going to move it on to track 10. This one is called Losing Control. Let's give this one a listen. This is number 10.
Feel the tension in the air as I'm walking down the stairs. I can feel the electric in your stairs. You only think that I'm cute cause you think that I could be a star. I know who you are, saying your DMs are open as soon as they close in the bar. Baby, how do we move on from this? Physically things feel so right, we can't be wrong for this, and we just can't be wrong. Step back, you already know you need to wait for me, yeah. touch. I know you're feeling me, girl. You're feeling me. I know you're feeling me, girl. You're healing me. You are my remedy, and I can't deny it's body and soul. I'm losing control, yeah. Why don't you and I try something new this time? Step back, you already know you need to wait for me, yeah. Wait for me, yeah. Step back, you already know you need to take a step back. Need to take a step back, baby. You need to take a step back. Need to take a step back. Need to take a step back.
Ooh.
Step back, you already know you need to wait for me, yeah. Wait for me, yeah. Step back, you already know you need to take a step back. Need to take a step back, baby.
Ooh, that one was a vibe. Guys, that one was called track 11, or track 10, sorry. Track 10, Losing Control. I was really vibing out with that one, super hard. I like this sort of, again, pop infused R&B going on here. I think the electric guitars in this song really bring up a lot of the energy of this song. I like that the beginning kind of has this more distorted, like, very, like, I guess it would be kind of considered like more of a funneled sound, but like I appreciate the kind of latent effects on the guitar part there. And I also say just like the overall catching of this song, like I was really bobbing my head and really feeling it. And really enjoyed this one. I think with a lot of these songs, I feel like sometimes it's a little difficult to pinpoint exactly how I feel about a certain song right off the bat, because I'm very much the type of person that loves to like beat albums into the ground and really have a better idea of what it's going to sound like. But I really dug Losing Control. I think this one was really solid. Nothing too crazy to write home about, but I think overall it was a really fun one, and I think it kind of keeps in the same lane as Love's Not Your Thing, like Spiritual Ascension, with that kind of mixed genre going on here. I think they really absolutely did a fantastic job with this one, and we're going to move it into the last track, which is the end of the line, guys. I know I'm upset too, but check back with the channel for more videos. I'll be probably doing some more before the weekend's over with, hopefully, but this is the last track, track 11. It's called In My Head, so let's give it a listen.
Sometimes I feel like I'm my only friend, and there's no one here by my side. Sometimes I wish this was all for pretend, and there was some place to hide. And the funny thing is, I think it's all in my head. Can these neurons and synapses work like they're supposed to instead? Sometimes I feel like I'm my only friend, and there's no one here by my side. Sometimes I wish this was all for pretend, and there was some place to hide. And the funny thing is, I think it's all in
Alright guys, that was track 11. This one is called In My Head. This one's off of Cherie Amour's newest album, Spiritual Ascension. You can go pick up the album today. It came out yesterday via Equal Vision Records. I have left a link in the description to go give it a listen. I really enjoyed this one as well. I think this one had more of a softer tonality to it, and I think it kind of like caps record off in a nice sort of way. It's got a real kind of a dreamy, ethereal sort of sound to it. I think Trey's vocals were really solid as well, even though they did have some effects on them. I think what they fit with the whole overall vibe of the album directly, and really enjoyed this one. I think it definitely doesn't have a lot of the elements that you would find on this album, but I think it comes pretty close in regards to like a lot more electronic layering going on in this song. I like the fact that this one was more of a sort of slower ballad song, where you had a lot more like open chords, you had a lot more different sounds to go with this song specifically. And I really enjoyed it. It was a nice like change of pace from what we heard on the rest of the album tonight, and just loved the overall energy of it. So I would probably say for myself right now, my favorite songs would be Letting Go, Low and Lean, Love's Not Your Thing, God Be a Woman, and I probably put Spiritual Ascension on there. I think those 5 songs are the ones that I would recommend to a new listener to check out, because I feel like if you listen to all 5 of those, you're probably going to have a pretty good chance of loving the rest of the record, which is always a good indicator. So I enjoyed this one a lot. I would say upon like first thoughts or first impressions of the album, I think it's definitely a different step in the right direction for what Cherie Amour is doing. I kind of, for the EP, I really enjoyed that album was kind of more so on the heavier sort of side, I guess, if that's even a term or phrase to say. I just like the fact that this one was I like the fact that internal discussions had a lot more like aggression towards it. And I felt like this one, while it wasn't really bad in that department, I just wish that there was just a little bit more bite, a little bit more oomph in some of the songs. And that's not to say some of the ones that do have that sort of like oomph to them, that they're not any less or any better than the rest of the songs on the album. I just kind of wish that the energy was brought up a little bit more in regards to some of the more fun tracks. And I'd be very curious to know what songs didn't make it up on the record, because in my head, I feel like they had kind of a vision on how to put all of these songs together, and I feel like comparatively to any other artist, I mean, I feel like structure in a song is always important, especially when it comes down to like structures of songs that are completed and they're being put in like the album. I think they take a lot of care in putting all of these songs in a very curated way. So definitely go give them a listen if you do wind up seeing them around. But really enjoyed Spiritual Ascension. I would say I need to give this one a few more listens to really kind of solidify my answer. But I think overall, upon first run through, really enjoyed it, and definitely had some great kind of like pop inspired, like R&B inspired hits. So definitely go give Cherie Amour a listen if you haven't already. Again, I'll leave links in the description to go check them out. So go pick up Spiritual Ascension, and if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It goes a long way. Been just trying to pump out as much content as I can right now, and I want to make sure that this new stuff comes out, and that you guys are stoked on it as well. But I'm gonna rock, guys. I do appreciate the time. Go check out Cherie Amour's Spiritual Ascension, links below. And if you like the content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It goes a long way. And again, huge thanks to Engage and Equal Vision for putting this album together with Cherie Amour. That's definitely awesome. But guys, thank you so much. We'll be talking.